Pioneers, welcome back to the Follow Your Path channel. This is for all of the people who are saying yes to themselves, saying yes to their path, listening to the calling of their heart, of their soul, and releasing everything that is not who they actually are. You'll know what's not actually you because it will induce feelings of fear. It will stress you out. It will feel out of alignment. And it's not a thinking process. It's a feeling process. It's an intuitive process which will come online more and more and more if you are creating space. So please prioritize creating space for yourself. You cannot access the higher mind when you're in beta brain mode, right? If you're not giving yourself some quiet time in nature or sitting in a chair for 15 minutes and having no stimulation going on and just saying, I'm here to listen. If you're not doing things like that, you're not going to be able to receive what you need for this next stage. Okay? It's all going to come from that, right? With that being said, today's message, you can feel it. Here we are. The door is wide open, right? This is a big time. We're not messing around anymore. It's here. You can't run from yourself. You can't run from your destiny. Okay? You are in the process of expressing the greatness that is within you. Everybody has it. How do I know that? Because the divine lives inside of you. All that is lives inside of you, right underneath the little tiny tip of the iceberg of, hey, I'm Sean, and here's my past history, and this is how I believe myself to be. Underneath that is a vast Mount Everest of infinite potential and awesome shit. And if you're going to keep attaching to your story of who you've been and what you're capable of, well, that's what you're going to get. But I think we're all getting bored of that. I think we're all ready to step into the next thing. I just got back from a men's retreat that I was leading in Utah, and that was part of my following my heart and my spirit. That was where I was led to, because I know the medicine that you receive in these spaces with community and having other people be mirrors for you, and going together with a group of other people into the unknown, through the fear, through the patterns of isolation that we have, especially for men, of like, oh, I'll figure this shit out, and then you're just looping in your bullshit all the time. No, that's not the way. That is not the way. Not in the Aquarian age. This is about collaboration. This is about coming together and community, which is interesting because one of the Aquarian era themes is technology, and it's also collaboration, but yet technology is separating people more than it ever has. Even though we're connected in the virtual space, in the physical realm, it's really keeping people uh, apart, and would rather be doing shit from their house than getting together in person. So to me, it's like, yeah, natural balance, now natural swing of the pendulum, as we're rookies. We're like kindergartners, guys. We're kindergartners in Earth school, and there's lots of other planets that have been through this process in the galaxy, in the universe. They graduate, they evolve, they go through this whole process, and it looks a little bit different. But here, yeah, we're like kindergartners, and as we're in a graduation process, as I've mentioned before, where your psychic abilities will start to come online. We will start to communicate psychically more and more and more as we go, as we enter that coherent heart field. And the light, the wisdom of our soul starts to be allowed to come down into the body, because our bodies are coming with us through this process, which is awesome. If you look at the ancient history, if you've read anything with Lemuria and these ancient civilizations, and I know there's not scientific backing on that, but again, how could there be when so many of human civilizations have been buried by cataclysms? They've been buried by those who want to control the agenda of the storylines of human history. There's so much that has blocked us from accessing the truth of who we are and where we came from and how this all began and what's come before us. We are in a recycling phase where this is a recycling of a pattern of humanity that you could say was going on during the Atlantean times, where that faction of people that were highly spiritual evolved, they had a splitting, and there was people who were on the side of the law of one, that wanted to use technology for the good of all, that wanted to use it responsibly in harmony with Earth. And then there were those who wanted to take it and use it for control. So it's like we're reliving that again. And so there's a choice point available, and it's which side will you choose? Will you get Google in your head? Will you get the chip? Will you continue to let AI just dominate everything in your experience? And technology just gets more and more in our bodies, where we have the watches and the things that are tracking it all. Pretty soon we're going to have biometrics inside of us that are measuring data in our bodies, and then that's being fed to some lab somewhere. It's going to get really interesting. But also, to go along with that, to me, it's a kick in the ass to for us to evolve spiritually, to get in touch with our inner technology, because what we have inside of us within our own consciousness, if we learn how to use it, is so far beyond any of the technology that we could come up with in the outer. So this is an interesting time, very much so. And to me, it's the new story being birthed, where we're leaving behind the survivalism, we're leaving behind the scarcity, where you had to do shit your whole life that you didn't want to do just to survive, just to get by, just to pay the bills, right? That's been going on for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. Some level of oppression, some level of you can't really do the shit that you want to do. But now we're entering this galactic time period where you get to live out your dharma. We have the wisdom available for enough of us, and the safety's taken care of. We're not going to die. There's not these external threats that are going to come knocking on your door to kill you. Maybe in some places that's going on, but for the audience I'm speaking to, I would imagine that's not happening. Even when I was living homeless out of my car, that felt very my fight or flight was really triggered a lot. But even still, I'm just sitting in my car. There's no one trying to hurt me. I'm not going to die, even though my body feels like it's going to die somehow. If I get a flat tire, if I run out of money or whatever. Anyways, the collective story of you got to do shit that you don't care about just to get by and support your family. That's what's being punched. We're now entering this time period of beyond that limitation, where we get to live our heart's desire, to bring to the surface that which we were created with, to contribute to the whole. That unique thing that each of us has, that song that each of us can sing, that has a resonance that is helping to move along this and complete this puzzle of evolution as it moves forward. You have it, and I would advise, don't deny it. Know that it's in there, and to activate it, you take steps towards your own transformation. You make the new choices. You align with life instead of working against it. You let go of the addiction to struggle, to chaos, to fight or flight. Any of the traumas that you've been looping in, like on the other side of that, healing that and realizing and recognizing the gifts that are in that. Like, why has that happened to you? Why did you decide to live out that experience of that trauma? It's because the gift is on the other side of that. Always, 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 always. You can trust that. You can you can bring that to the bank, right? Those things were the call of your soul to get you to wake up, to get you to know who you are, to show you some level of what you're here to do, right? So for me, my mental health was a big struggle for a long time. I always had my physical strength. I always did really well physically, like never had issues really with any diseases or anything like that. So physical health was never my thing to help others with, although because I've done pretty good for that for myself, I could maybe help others with that. But my thing was mental battles. My thing was I hated myself. I was, yeah, very insecure, as I've said on here many times. And so that insecurity, that theme being there for so much of my life, to me was my soul being like, hey, you're here to remember who you are and that you're not this body and that you're not this identity and you're not that story that you took in. And you're here to have an epic relationship with yourself and have a beautiful, harmonious engagement with your ego, with your persona. That's a part of this journey and it's beautiful. But when it's traumatized and it's freaking out and thinking it needs to be in control, it's a real bitch. And so we want to integrate those two, and that's what we're doing here on this channel. And that's why I always speak to things like the way that you're talking to yourself. Your inner conversation is so important. The words that you say, the things that you tell you on a consistent basis are pivotal because that's what you're going to get. Because here is life that says, I love you and adore you, and I give you whatever your attention's on. If you're not tracking what your attention's on, you're going to go into the unconscious loop and you're going to be fixated on the problems that you've had. And I did that for a long time, and it's just not it, right? We got to evolve to solution consciousness, which is you on the other side of the issue that you've been obsessing over. For me, it was money, it was lack. I was obsessing over that. I'm like, that's my thing. Once I have that, then I'll be good. And it's like, then you get it, and you're still not good, right? Like, how many times have we heard that story? And maybe you have to experience that like I did. I'm like, wow, I have more money in my bank than I've ever had. I'm still feeling this way. Okay, so maybe that's not it. What I really wanted was to feel secure in my own body, and I wanted to feel that level of security without anything from the outside giving that to me. I wanted to cultivate and hone that for myself, and that's what I help other people do. That's what I've done for me, and I continue to do it. And the more that out here crumbles and dismantles, the more chill I feel because I'm like, yep, here we go. Like, honestly, thank you that outer picture is breaking down because that one didn't work. It really didn't. We all know this. The education, the health, all of it, so corrupted, so just not in support of an evolved humanity that is graduating out of kindergarten, let's say. All those systems and structures were preschool level, maybe even before that, right? And we've just been holding on to them and we need to let them go. And the new things will emerge, right? But when you're trying to control stuff so hard, you don't let it go and you try to keep it in place and then think more resistance and things get worse and the problems get worse and eventually it builds up to the point where you have no choice, right? So as within, so without. I love being here with you guys. I love having this as a place to express these things, and I love and appreciate all of you who tune into this because everyone who's watching this, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how hard it feels, how devastating things can be. There is a light in you, that divine spark that is waiting for you to come home to it, that has everything that you need. There is the full potential counterpart of you existing right alongside of you in another dimension. You could say hyperspace, you could say whatever. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you right now. It's never anywhere that you're gonna have to go find. It's right inside of you. So breathe that in and recognize that out there is not it. If you let that be your truth and you let that convince you, that's what you're gonna get. Okay, you can't be tricked by that anymore. This is again, that's kindergarten consciousness. We're going to elementary school, right? Of our in our spiritual nature of this earth plane. And that is the higher floor. That's rising out of the basement where all the chaos and disorder and trauma loops and small self orientation exist. We're getting out of that so we can get the higher perspective, see things as they truly are, get the beautiful views, get the fresh air, get out of that chaos and be able to relax into, oh, this is who I am. Oh, all of that baggage, all of that weight, all of those stories that I carried, none of that is up here with me. Oh my goodness, who am I without that? Oh, well, It's a blank slate. I guess I have to create myself. I guess I have to, not have to, you get to use your now moment for cool stuff. Use your now blank canvas to focus your attention on beautiful things, a better world, a better life for yourself, better relationships, better health, better vitality, joy, laughter, singing songs with people that you love, playing games, enjoying life. That's elementary school. Like we get to enjoy things way more. You learn from love instead of pain. You learn from joy instead of devastation and struggle. Right? That to me is old paradigm stuff that we're just letting clear out now. All right? So if you're in a place that's really hurtful, and you're holding on to that and you're letting the outside continue to tell you what's real, my invitation is to let that go, right? You're worthy and you deserve to know who you are without that stuff. Okay? And that's exactly what you'll get when you do let it go and you take a breath and you embrace the unknown. You embrace the uncertainty because all of your desires, everything you've ever wanted, your fulfillment is there. Do you think that that which created you knows better than your ego what's going to bring you the most joy? Yeah, it does. So let your arrogance get out of the way of the ego persona that thinks it knows what you need and put it in the passenger seat with love and compassion and start to do the things that are outside of your comfort zone so you show that part of yourself that you're not going to die and it doesn't need to control things anymore. Right? This is where mastery comes in. Your power and authority start to come in because you're the one that's deciding. You're making a choice and you're following through on that now. You're trusting. You don't know how it's all going to look, but you know everything is here for you. You know that you're here to play that role and that purpose, which is knowing who you are and then serving from that place, because that will be revealed to you. But guess what? If you're looping in, what's my purpose and I don't have it yet and blah, 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 you're in lack and you're just creating more of that echo. And then you're getting caught in that echo. And you're like, why is nothing happening? Because you don't realize you're creating it and it's you. It's just you. The whole time it's been you. And I see the holy choir of angels just swirling around you like, oh, please put your attention on something else. Oh my God. We can't, like, we're right here. Call us in. Use us. Anything. But just stop putting your attention on pain and struggle and problems. Get your mind out of that because you're in the level of the problem and you're bound to it. That, my friends, is kindergarten. And if you want help and support in coming into alignment with who you are and going up to the higher floors in the being in the graduation process, this is why I'm alive. I went through this for 8 to 9 to 10 years roughly. And not to say that I'm not still going through it my own way because we're always evolving, but that initial like big leap up and expansion to the point where I can do the things that I am here to do and make a living and love what I do, and my days are not structured at a 9 to 5, and I can go to the hot springs for a soak at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for 3 hours. Like that's what I wanted, and I created that, and I had to let go of a lot of shit to be able to step into it. And there was a lot of shedding, not gonna lie, but I learned so much. I've learned from the best teachers on the planet. And now I'm just continuing that in the best way that I can for others who resonate with these words. So if you're in that place, because here's the thing, like I I'm at a point now where I'm only going to work with people who are in the fuck yes energy, people who are ready to go to that next level and do what it takes. The dabbling and I have compassion for those folks because I was a dabbler for a while. So like, love to you. But I want to be in the energy of excitement, of creativity, of embracing the shadows, like confronting the things and telling the truth that you need to, so that you can evolve. Because um, if you want to be a pioneer, I think we need so many more of those in this world. We really do, to shift this collective dense belief. Like, and that's you. If you're watching this channel, like that is you, or at the very least, it's in you. And so Get the support that you need because we do need it. Can you do it yourself? Sure, I guess, but that's going to take a long fucking time. Seriously. Like too long, right? We're here helping each other climb the mountain to accelerate the process to get be able to skip those years of wasteland existing like I had and many others had. And I went through that so that I could serve. So if you're feeling the call, there are so many ways to do this. My favorite and most intimate is one on one. I don't have many spaces left for that, but there are a few. We have in-person retreats coming up here in Montana and in other places that are to me the best thing ever. Like they're so powerful. The one in Utah, lights out. Man, those men, those are my bros. We went there. We went deep. Some of them listen to this and love you guys. But there's that. There's the activation sessions. There's the community circles. There's a lot of things here. So if it's not here, get it somewhere because it's needed. We got to have community. We got to have the people that are reflecting things that we can't see, right? Because those patterns are strong and they can get really tricky at times. So this is it. We're in it, folks. Like this is a big time. This is your time. This is our time to step in where we get to know who we are and we get to be in the mystery to receive all of the wonderful things that have been waiting for us, that our soul just has buried like a scavenger hunt. And it's like, oh, will you make the aligned choice? Okay, cool. Yeah, take that step. Okay, you're gonna get that next little piece of treasure that's gonna lead to the next thing and the next connection and the next blah blah blah. Right? I love you guys. I really appreciate you being here. And I apologize for the gap. It's been a busy couple of weeks. My intention is to continue to be consistent and get on here and share with you guys and drop in. So uh, thank you. And I will talk to you soon. As always, peace within is peace with